So that wraps up the second week of the preseason challenge, and we're just going to go over a bit of a recap of those games as well. Before we get into that, Broncos won the challenge and the 100 gram. So saw some real reaching stats saying that no team has won the preseason challenge and gone on to win the comp. Huge if true, bruh. Huge if true. So fucking up the Bronx. I'd be worried if I was the Roosters player them next week, honestly. They might as well start that bender now to wash down the absolute flogging they're going to get. Now, with both mum and dad over in America, the Roosters New South Wales Cup team absolutely pumped the young Rabbithos 46-10. I didn't get to watch this one, but it seems like there's plenty of talented young guys coming through on the Roosters side, so not really a surprise there, obviously, with the coin that they've got. But not a great day for the Bunnies fans. Wouldn't put too much weight on it though. Obviously, it's just literally New South Wales Cup, some real young players coming through. So keen how to see how they're going to go the first week. Well, that's another one as well, Doggies fans. You might as well put a line through those boys. Any premiership hopes this season's all over. So Sharks only beat bottom 8 teams. So it's all been confirmed at this stage, losing 12-6. So that's another one that I tipped wrong there. But I thought the Dogs showed enough that they might have been able to get it done, especially with a weakened side without Hines. But the Sharks managed to just sneak it over the line. So there's plenty of club debuts as well. So Curran and Critter starting. They very much rested Critter, so didn't get to see a whole lot of him. Big dog Jamin Salmon seems to have potentially secured the starting lock position as well. So if he is, when the team lists come out, definitely one that you can bang into your fantasy squad. I'm telling you right now, he could be one that's going to be great with his price. So at this point, I'd be already looking at moving somebody like Critter into fullback and Burton into centre and linking up those halves and seeing how they go from there. So I feel like attack would really come alive. Doubt they'll do that, but at this point as well, I'm not really convinced on the Sharks. They just seem to be missing something that's there, something that could win them the comp. I don't think they've quite got that at this stage. Maybe like a gun prop when Adam Fanua-Blake comes in. Maybe that could be something or some sort of X factor in the back line. But at this point, I don't know. I think they're going to have a good season, but I don't think they're going to go all the way. So I'm pretty bad at the moment when it comes to the tipping. So 0 for 3 because I tipped the Knights to beat Storm, but they ended up winning convincingly 28-10. So while I think there was a lot of promising signs as well from the Knights, there was, I guess, a lot of rotations happening given the weather and it being a trial game. So both teams ran through players like crazy. So again, wouldn't really stress too much the result. Definitely think the Knights are in for another great season, but I don't see Storm pushing for a top spot this year. I think they're probably going to float around 4-5 in the 8, I think at least, but I don't think they're going to be going, for a minor or for the premiership itself. So very keen to see if Dylan Lucas, if he can get into my fantasy team, and I'm definitely absolutely hooked on Harry Grant. Love you, Harry. So he's going to be in there and stay in there. We got a good taste as well of what the Wars might be like this season, and it does not seem like they're taking a backward step at all. They looked really dangerous across the park against the Dolphins, winning 34-22. Kurt Capewell made his debut for the club as well and looked excellent. He was playing off Sean Johnson, so it just makes me happy to see that. Sean looked unreal. There was, I guess, some concerns pre-season with little niggles, but once again, looks like he's barely taken a step back and has just picked up from where he left off. And a happy SJ is a happy world, if you ask me. So looks like, like I said, they're pretty much picking off exactly where they went from last year. And fuck me dead, when you add in like a RTS, you're looking fucking good. That's looking real good in there. So he's such a presence when he's out on the field, even though he was only playing in centre. He did so much damage as well, especially if you started to get him, roaming around. And obviously it's not going to be an ongoing thing, but if he does slide into fullback as well, he's just such an attacking threat. And it creates a lot of opportunities for offloads and line breaks as well. Now, one that I really hope gets a spot at some time is Ali Leatawa. He looks awesome, honestly. Really would be perfect for fantasy because he stacks up some serious points in that centre position, which is not that consistent. Finn's had really unfortunate injuries as well with the ACL injury. Hopefully things aren't as bad as it seems, because if it is, obviously that's absolutely devastating, out all last year. So hopefully it's not as bad as it might seem and recovery is really fast in that case. Herbie again was a standout, and how dare you leave the Bronx Herbs? You've hurt me bad, but up the fucking wires. Manly got absolutely pumped by the baby Broncos. I fear for Manly all season, all round, I think, in that case. It did start a little bit sketchy, but once the Broncos started with points, they couldn't stop. Kurt Falls and Hoyter really had some good games. Still so impressed with Blake Moser and his dirty stash and headgear combo. Go you, good thing. Hopefully he gets a run a little bit later in the year, maybe around Origin time, but we'll see. So Bronx ended up winning 40-14, beating out the Beta Club in Brookvale to get on top of the ladder and ultimately win the pre-season challenge. I'm that pumped for our season and cannot wait to see what they're going to be like in Vegas as well. It's going to be unreal. So who would have thought the Dragons would go on to punish the Tigers 34-18? I was so let down with the Dragons last week, and then all of a sudden they just want to play some good footy. It's nice to see Benny Hunt out there get the W and cross the line as well, manage to jump up and snatch that one down and get over. Olam made his debut as well. I think he came off early. I think in the first half he might have picked up a bit of an injury. I think he went back out though, so that's all good. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So no appearance from Luciano at this stage with the Dragons, but I'm sure we'll see him very shortly. Not much else happening in this game though, that's for sure. Really did want to see the Milk beat the Cowboys, but things weren't looking super great for them. I guess they did mount a bit of a comeback towards the end, but just like couldn't keep up with the Cowboys. They ended up going on to win 36-28. Fucking hurts me to see Kyle Felt go over and go well. I cannot forgive him for the 2015 grand final. Just, yeah, got a hat-trick, annoying. I don't care how well he plays. Go drop some more balls. So Ethan Strange ended up doing some work and hopefully cemented his spot in the starting side if it wasn't for him deciding to tip some bloke on his head and getting sin binned. So that spot could slip away, but hopefully not, because we really need a good cheapie in there. So fingers crossed, Strange, he's probably going to get suspended, but I guess we'll see what the outcome is with that. It was really unfortunate for Hess as well. So once again, hopefully everything goes well there. But on the other hand, that opens things up for Lukey in fantasy as well. So I think he's definitely one to keep an eye on and could get some big minutes because of this. Doozy of a game in the switch, and another tip that's gone down as well with the Eels beating the Titans 26-16. And what do we learn from that? That Hopgood is a fucking machine, and hear me right now, he could be in the running for a Dally M Team of the Year position. So the battle for the hooker continued as well with Lussick and Hands both out there, but I don't think either of them really cemented themselves as somebody that's guaranteed the starting position, especially to play the 80 minutes. I think they're both going to share a lot of minutes, and if that's the case, then they might not be the best selection for fantasy. You can add Sivo to the list of people as well that I don't want to get folded by after what he did to AJ. But he, I believe, just got suspended for like 3 weeks or something like that as well. So while the Eels won, I'm still very impressed with some of the things that we saw in the Titans as well. So I think things were starting to come together and the sparks, were kind of there. Things like AJ running really well in the centres, Tino kind of ball playing into the line, Calm Pereira with his elite foot falcons is a thing of beauty, and Keeney as well getting his run at fullback, filling in for Jaden Campbell, which was really great for our fantasy team. He did pretty well, so he might get, I don't know, maybe 3-4 games. They are saying that the injury for Campbell, the recovery's lasting a lot longer than expected, so I guess we'll just have to keep an eye out for that, but he should be able to make us some coin there. So finally as well, for the actual season to start, so Wednesday I should have my predictions out for the first round, or at least those first few games in Vegas, and we'll pretty much go from there. So like and subscribe if you'd like, and remember Bronx 13 plus. Laters.